We are so excited to announce this new podcast. We have been having these conversations for a long time, and we just thought it was time that we invited you all to come join us.
Yay! Welcome to our podcast.
Pretty
We're
excited.
doing this.
So,
fun.
Nicole, why did you want to do a podcast?
Because we have really good conversations. And you are one of my people. We all need people for lots of different things, but you are one of mine. You are my sounding board, my voice of reason, my different perspective, so many things. And I always come away from our conversations feeling more grounded. I feel better and like I have the space to move forward. And I think what we've both found in our conversations over the years is one of my favorite phrases is there's always more to the story, right? But it's really hard to even consider that, let alone have any perspective on what more to the story might mean in anything, whether it's work, life, relationships, all of it, without having somebody to talk to. Because I know for me, when I get in it, like in the stuff of life, my natural tendency is to assume that I am the only one having these issues and to withdraw and then to assume that there's only one solution, which is not usually an awesome one, to be perfectly honest. So I know when I talk to you, I'm able to see that there might be more to the story than just the way I'm seeing things, which then opens up a whole host of new options in terms of how I can see a scenario and then how I can react and the results I can get. And my life is better for it.
Wow.
So there you go.
Well, thank you very much.
That's why I like talking to you.
And it's very mutual. Like, I think one of the things that you and I typically fairly quickly get to is what are the stories we are telling ourselves that may or may not be true, and those that hinder us and those that hold us back. And even the ones that, no, wait, that's repetitive. Hinder us and hold us back. I meant hinders or support us, the
Yeah.
things that carry us forward versus hold us back. Those are the same, though. And that's
Just say what you think. Who cares?
that's the kind of nonsense I make. That's why you like me. I don't make any sense. No, but I just always feel like I get a insight about like where am I bullshitting myself, to be honest. And you and I've talked about this before, that I think especially sort of post COVID, lots of people working from home, even people who are self-employed, maybe working from home instead of going back to the office, in the real estate space, that people are, I mean, all the statistics say that people are way more isolated and lonely and aren't connecting.
Right.
There's some research I'm sure is out there. If not, I'll make it up because I'll ask 3 people and it'll be a research project. That I think people spend more time listening to podcasts or some kind of social media, not a conversation they're having with someone they know,
Mm-hmm.
than having conversations with people they know. And that's just, I don't think that's good for us. And so even though people are joining us in this conversation in a podcast or on some sort of device, I think our intention really is to help people feel like they're having a real conversation with friends or that they're joining our conversation. And that excites me. I think,
Yeah. Me too. And I hope it inspires some people. I hope it allows some people to go and know that they've been seen and that they're not alone. It's fascinating. I grew up with a mom, and one of her main mantras was you do not talk about family outside of family. You keep it all in house.
yeah.
Worst advice ever. I mean, my parents got divorced for a lot of reasons, but I really believe part of it is this whole you don't talk about the family outside, because then again, it means you isolate and you only have certain options available to you. And I know for a fact I would not have the marriage I do, the friendships I do, the business I do, and just, I'm going to say mental sanity I do. I realize some days that's debatable and it depends on who you ask. It'd be very selective in your survey on my sanity and who you decide to poll on what days. But I would not be where I am today without having people that I can talk to and share with to get outside perspectives on. Like, it's a hard road when you feel like you gotta handle it all yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if somebody like I quickly think back and I have a very couple of hysterical pictures of us from like 12 years ago when I joined Windy City,
Yes.
when you and I first met.
Oh my god.
And I could never have foreseen the friendship that has evolved or I mean, really even just what's happened in the last few years. I
Right.
think you and I like when I'm telling people about our friendship to people who don't know you, I kind of say we're a little Oscar Felix odd couple-ish. Um,
Love it.
no judgment about which of us is Oscar or Felix or which is a better role, but just a little odd couple-ish. Um,
Yeah.
and but that's only kind of on a superficial level. And I think, as somebody who both of us in our professional lives meet people all the time, it is so easy to make some of those sort of snap judgments about who that other person is. Like you are, for many years, you were like the brunette Barbie that I knew. And that was before the Barbie movie came out and became, sort of the most badass icon ever. It had a lot of, I'll be honest, not very positive connotations.
Did
Well,
you think I was shallow? You can say yes, it's okay.
maybe. And it wasn't even that. It was, okay, I'm just gonna go there right now,
Just do it.
is I have some stuff from my child I like to refer to junior high Nancy and high school Nancy. There's not a lot of difference between junior high and high school Nancy, to be honest. But my junior high Nancy was so intimidated by people that I would say are you.
Mhm.
Really pretty, probably popular with the boys. Not that I thought I wanted to be popular with boys, but it was such a world I didn't understand. And you know how to dress and do makeup and you have pretty hair. Like it was just this whole world that I felt like I was such an outsider. And I would love to say that by my now almost mid 60s, I have evolved and gotten over all of those very adolescent bullshit stories in my head. I have not. And so I carried that with me when you and I first met. And I'm so grateful that I got past that and saw and got to know you actually as who you are. And
Thank
you
you.
do still dress great and have beautiful hair and fabulous shoe collection that
Me too.
I'm not envious of, I have to say. There's no envy there, it's just sort of a bizarre curiosity of like, "Huh, really? Okay."
Yeah,
Um, but we have so much more in common than
we do.
them not having in common, and that is also, I think, something that's really true that in the world today, it's hard to remember that sometimes.
We've all got our stuff.
Yeah. So, so I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit, if I may. So
Let's
when
do
you
this.
first met me, like, what was your first impression? I'm sure it wasn't, "Oh my god, she and I are gonna be besties." I
No,
don't
but
think that
there
happened.
was a, "Oh my god, I wanna be Nancy," because my first, like, core memory of you, and I know we had met before this, was when you taught a video class on BombBomb and how you video all your clients, and you were just so natural, and you're like, "Yeah, you shoot this video and you send it to your people, and they love you," and I'm like, "Yeah, I bet they would. Oh my god, I can't do that. That looks amazing. Ah, what do I do?" Um, and I loved you from the first moment just
Mm,
because you were showing up as you and you were sharing. And yeah, I had no idea that we were going to end up being this close and that our relationship was going to go as deep as it has. I am so incredibly grateful that it has. But yeah, it was not an obvious, like, oh, yeah, we're totally going to hang out all the time.
yeah. Which is, I think, for people who know both of us, there is a little head scratching, it's like the old epitome of dogs with their ears up.
Uh huh.
They talk like, "Huh, you 2? Really?"
Yeah,
I love that.
I know. And it's so funny because my junior high and high school Nicole, I am a late bloomer times, but like I didn't date until I went to college. My sister was the pretty one. I was the one, like, all the boys just wanted to get to me to, like, find out if my sister had a boyfriend because they really wanted to ask her out. So we all got our stuff.
Yeah. Okay, here's a very funny thing is for me in high school, I was totally in the closet. I mean, not
Mm.
to the rest of the world. I just didn't know I was gay. So obvious. But
Everybody
in
else knew but
hindsight,
you.
but I had a couple of friends in particular who I will not name because God forbid they ever hear, well, I'm sure they know who they are. Anyways, who I had this one girl in particular, I had such a crush on her. She was in my geometry class. I was like a pathetic puppy dog. And she ended up dating my brother, who
Oh,
was, and
shoot.
my brother was really good looking. He is good looking. Sorry, Bruce. Um, he's a very handsome man. He was super good looking in his youth, as often is the case. Um, God, can I just take my foot out of my mouth on that one? Anyway, um,
Real life, real talk.
real life, real life.
Go.
Sorry, bro. Anyway, it was similar maybe to you having your friend be wanting to be your friend to get close to your sister. For me, it was people wanted to hang out with me because of my good looking brother. But I didn't realize it was because I was jealous. Actually, can I tell you another story that
Of course.
not that I've gone down that rabbit hole? So one of my best friends in high school later came out as a gay man. N- Really, the fact that either of us didn't know that at the time is kind of crazy. But he had a sister who was 2 years above us in school, so I knew his sister.
Mhm.
Such a massive crush on her. There's a theme, me and crushes, but it's such a huge crush on her, and he, of course, because I just established my brother was very good looking and a nice guy, had a big old crush on my brother, so we would go to hang out after school, and I'd always go, "Oh, Matthew, let's go to your house." And he's like, "No, no, 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 let's go hang out at yours."
What a
I'm like,
goodie.
"Oh, no, 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 let's go to your house."
I
And
love
then, like,
that.
10 years later, we run into each other, we're like, "Duh."
It's all
Anyway,
coming together.
had nothing to do with anything. You tuned out after that story. You tuned out too soon. There's more coming.
Oh my gosh, we're just getting started. It only
We
gets
are
better
just
from
getting
here.
started. So I'm curious if when people are asking you, so why are you and Nancy doing this podcast? What are we going to talk about? Like, or what do we want people to feel after they listen to an episode? Like, from your perspective, what are we going for here?
Mhm. I want people to feel seen. That in anytime I have a conversation with somebody, I know I teach classes on energy work and mindset relative to business. You talk about authenticity beautifully. So whether I'm giving a talk or teaching a class or just having a one-on-one conversation, anytime somebody feels seen, like that sigh of I'm not the only one, that is that is gold to me.
Mm,
That just warms my heart because again, once we feel seen and we know we're not the only one in whatever the scenario is, um, that like life changes at that point, right? Doesn't mean it instantly gets better or easier, but it's just like, okay, I can do this. I'm not the only one. And then the more we talk about stuff, the real stuff, even for me, right? Like my social media feed's pretty darn fun. There's a little more to it than that. So once people know that there's more to it, then so that's what I'm hoping people they feel seen. They kind of like, okay. And the beauty, I think, for both of us is we see each other and then it's like, and then where do we go from there? So yeah. How about you? Same question for you.
Um, I'm I would have to say like a pretty central through line for me is how do we show up more authentically in our lives,
Mhm.
which I think comes from people feeling seen.
Right.
Um, I, as you know, with some of the other work that I do around speaking around authenticity, that I think there is for a lot of people, I always think it happens mid-50s, but that's just because that was so long ago for me, but I think it probably is much earlier than that, there's that little whisper in your voice at some point in some facet of your life where you go, "Is this it? Really?" And nowadays people change careers, for example, so many different times. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't go into real estate until I was in my almost mid 40s. Uh,
Mhm.
I was in my mid 40s. Um, and I think either we listen to that whisper of something ain't right, fine
Yeah.
isn't good enough anymore, um, or we kinda go, la, 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 and we just keep going on automatic pilot because we don't really wanna change anything, and I think our various identities as sister, daughter, spouse, parent, what friend, all the things, employee, employer, um, I think that just gets crystallized or encapsulated in some way
Mhm.
so that we're just living out that role, and not really feeling like we're very tapped into who we are. So, all of that is a long way to say that I hope our conversations help people hear that whisper if it's there in their lives,
Mhm.
feel like, oh, there is a space where I can go and hear some people talking about like, so what happens when you start to unpack all the assumptions about who you are, either
Yeah.
the assumptions other people make of you or that you make of yourself about, oh, this is just who I am. It's like, really? Well, great example is until I was 63, I was so not a morning person. Like
Oh, yeah.
anybody who's ever known me, not a morning person. And I've had a hot tub a lot of my life. Like I love heat, warm water, all that stuff. And last January, I took up cold plunging, and I am usually in the water. I try and be there right at dawn's first light. Doesn't always happen that way, and I go almost every day. And I, that just is in like complete contradiction to any sense of identity of who I am in the world and what I care about, or like whether I'm consistent or not consistent, or do I do hard things or do I not do hard things, or am I even capable of change? Um, and here I am. I mean, I went again this morning and I was thinking to myself as I was again, it's like Groundhog's Day. Every day I'm having the same conversation about, do I really have to get out of bed? It's so
Mhm.
warm. Maybe I won't go today. And people say, you don't have to do it every day. You could just stop. My sister asked me yesterday, "So how long are you gonna do this for?" I said, "Forever." She
Yeah.
said, "Oh, you're
You'll
not, like, doing it for a year?" And I said, "I mean, I don't know."
Yeah. You'll do it until it doesn't feel like the right thing to do anymore.
Yeah.
But I think it's beautiful. You show up for yourself first thing every day. That is powerful.
Well, and it's super physical, obviously, like, it makes you be so in your body. I do it in nature rather than just like a tub,
Mhm.
plunge tub. So oh god, the eagle I saw this morning was amazing. The light on its head, it was like the brightest white I'd ever seen on an eagle. It was so beautiful. Um, but it also I start the day doing the thing that I am always telling myself I could never have done.
Mhm.
And like there's just a ripple effect from that.
I bet. Yeah. You show
I
up
mean,
different all day.
I see you do that in 100 different ways in your life of doing things. I mean, really, we're doing a podcast,
I
Nicole.
know. Check us out.
How far we'd be doing this.
I know.
So I just think so, God, that was a lot of rambling, but I really want people to feel like, they can there's a safe place to sort of wonder, is the story that I'm telling myself true?
Yes.
And there are other people that are trying to get more real, just
Yeah.
be more authentic, and
Totally.
they're not in it by themselves.
Yeah. And I think we do it with a really good mix of honesty, vulnerability, and some humor. We laugh about it because
We
sometimes
do.
that's all you can do.
Yes, absolutely. Mm. Well, I'm super excited about
Yeah,
this journey with you.
I know. Me too. And I hope everybody listening, stay tuned because
Yeah,
now you kind of know what the show's going to be about. Each show will kind of have a conversation about what's going on, stories we're telling ourselves. We'll give each other super insightful, helpful tips.
totally. And
And
if you want us to talk about, you should just let us know because,
yeah, for sure.
like, what's some story you're telling yourself that you wanna
I am fascinated by that, right? Like all of the stories we tell ourselves as individuals that and how they and the ripple effect in our lives. We're going to have lots of conversations on this in the podcast because I know we've talked about this a lot. Like my assumption slash story was this. Therefore I've been showing up this way or viewing somebody this way or what have you. Somebody opened the door just a little bit to tell a different story or see it a little bit differently, and the whole thing shifts. And it's amazing when that happens.
I love that.
Um, so we're gonna have lots of conversations about that. It's gonna be good.
Yay. All right, people. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Bye. Next episode.